Well, the teen suicide rate has 10 to 14-year-olds has jumped by 178% from 2007 to 2017. 15 to 19-year-old teenagers up 76% in that period. This is, of course, caused by microwave radiation. At the very least, incidental, at best, at worst, deliberate, nefarious microwave weapon type exposure. As we all know, this keeps happening to U.S. government employees. Let me rephrase that. It's happening to everyone, literally everybody in the United States at once. What they don't want to tell you is that it is satellite-based, that it is above your head. Who are the culprits? Well, anyone with a satellite. You know, the United States, possibly. Russia, China, there's a satellite above your head right now. Russia and Chinese satellites above your head right now. A telecom company. Anyone with a satellite. There are 5,000 satellites in the air right now. 1,500 are Russian, 500 are Chinese. The United States has most of them. Some are owned and run by private companies. Any one of those people, if it's nefarious, and it really kind of looks like it is now, quite simply put, obviously, if you're watching this channel, you know. I mean, this is just nothing more than microwave communications equipment being pointed at the human brain, at the human head, at the temporal lobes. And let me rephrase that. It interacts with the temporal lobes. You don't need to hit the temporal lobe. You just need to hit the head and get close enough to the body. And the temporal lobes seem to soak it up and interact with it, sort of a lock and key type thing.
But this was being done over time and it had a real impact on it.
This was being done over time and it had a real impact. Yes, it does have a real impact. And we're seeing it in teen suicide rates. Now, they're linking this to social media. What they, again, aren't saying at the very least, and I don't know if they know it or not, is that it is at the very least these are exacerbated by microwave radiation, RF radiation. We'll jump over here to the bioeffects of selective non-lethal weapons really quick. There's some frightening stuff in here. Just check my notes. So page 8 is just chilling. This is the United States Army testing on RF. Top of page 8. Application of the microwave hearing technology could facilitate a private message transmission. It may be useful to provide a disruptive condition to a person not aware of the technology. A disruptive condition to a person. Yeah, scary. Not only might it be disruptive to the sense of hearing, it could be psychologically devastating if one suddenly heard voices within one's head. Now, we don't know for sure if these kids are hearing voices or not, but the fact that it's been technologically possible to do so since at least, let me rephrase this, that testing was from 1996, so obviously we know that. The history of this goes back, and it's in here somewhere, over 30 years before that. Now that was Dr. Frey in the 60s. This has been technologically possible since the 60s. It's been easily weaponized since the 90s, and now you're starting to see it really sort of have an effect here. Now, these microwave weapon systems are, of course, just satellite-based communication systems, similar to like our Star Wars system, right? So think about Star Wars satellites launched in 1986. They were, what they do is they track and disable. They were designed to track and disable ICBMs. Well, they had a little trouble. ICBMs move pretty quickly. But you know, objects that move a little slower, humans. So that satellite system, or any one of the ones that have are possessed by our adversaries, could easily, obviously, track and disable a human. If we trust that they were even within 1/1000th of the claimed capability, that a human being walking could be tracked and microwaved very, very easily. And again, now we have data to back it up. You think it's just social media doing this? Wrong. And bioeffects also clearly states that. I just can't find it in here. I was just ripping through it. It says use it where there's a known weakness. So where should this possibly be used? On someone who has a known weakness. So in other words, if they're anxious or depressed, or if you can hide the effects of this within social media usage. And it's like with mass shootings. They'll say, oh, it's video games. No, it's not video games. It's satellite radiation. It's microwave radiation. The only question we have is someone deliberately or something deliberately pointing those microwave communication beams, the ones we use on our cell phones every single day, at the human body for the purpose of destabilizing people. Now, when I say something, if you watch The Social Dilemma, and everybody should, it's incredible. It's incredible. These people who made the AI that runs the social media sites and whose job it is to keep people on the site as long as possible, to influence and manipulate their behavior to get them to do what the AI wants, which is to never put their phone down, stay on, crack the human code, and influence their behavior. And it's working perfectly. The people who created these AIs, all of them said they don't know what this thing is doing at any given moment. That's the whole point. It's an automated system. They're not controlling it. They set it up, they wrote the code, but the thing gets better and better. It learns. That's why it's called intelligence, because it gets better at doing what it does. They don't know what it's doing. And the people who run the satellite weapons programs, they don't know what their AI is doing either to some extent. They're not making all of the decisions. They're letting it do what it has to do. And what its goal is, of course, is to sicken people and get them on medications, which is evidenced by the fact that everybody's on a medication, make people sick, unhealthy. Look around you, everybody is. Not everybody, but that's for another video. Certain people. To destabilize people, teen suicide rates are up, breakup marriages, divorce rates up, push people towards drugs and alcohol, opioids, people are dying from that left and right, and to generally keep certain people, it seems, because some people are just doing fantastic, while other people are doing awful. But again, that's for another video. I'm getting a little off the subject here. But the fact is, they don't know what these things are doing. Now, let's get out here a little bit.
Not only balance, but also both of the brain and if the temporal lobe about this.
What happens is, now listen to this.
Microwaves damage the temporal lobe of the brain and influence not only hearing, not only balance, but also behavior.
Influence behavior. Behavior like suicidal behavior. Behavior like mass shootings. Behavior like drug use. This is going on right in front of the medical industry. Doctors know it, some don't. And I don't want to lay blame here because, again, history tells us that if you look at tuberculosis, it took them a long time to accept the fact that microorganisms were causing that. They believed it was vampires, and that wasn't that long ago. Germ theory didn't take hold. Yeah, right. An invisible thing that I can't see is causing something. But no way. It's spirits. It's because you didn't pray enough today. Human history tells us this. Lead in kids' toys, baby toys, and cribs. The industries pushed. Congress gave in. Decades this stuff was on products. Kids were touching it and getting permanent brain damage or death. So, HIV. They figured out HIV started 60 years before they discovered it. So, these medical industries, they are slow to react because their primary goal, like all industries, is to make money. And if there's more money and people being sick, then they're not going to act. It's going to take forever. So we're here now. I know the deal. A lot of people know the deal. Dr. John Hall, Dr. Robert Duncan, a large growing group of people, and you can almost see the discomfort on this Fox News host's face. He's almost like, oh, okay, yeah, let's move along. Just the subject matter is freaking him out. Now, credit to these people, though. I mean, Fox News has done an outstanding job of covering this. They were really great about it. And then the recent, of course, that happened on U.S. soil, microwave weapon attacks on a bunch of U.S. government employees in several locations. Now, again, this is happening to everyone all the time. It's the cause of the divorce rate going up. It's the cause of the suicide rate going up. It's the cause of mass shootings. Influence behavior. Pay attention, folks. It's happening right in front of you. Obviously, if you're watching these videos, you already get it, but maybe some new people will stumble along, and at some point we're going to reach critical mass with this, and it's going to work. So I guess just hold out hope and stay strong.